currently 6:22 local, but it's live on 3 time now. Here we go.
Heavy B setup for Navi. They are 4 players in that site to start. Some utility on Perfecto and Astralis. They're going to be pushing the perimeter. They're pushing up the banana. Navi setup looks to be the right call to make for the time being. There's still defaulting players on alert for Astralis, but Electronic is jiggling while Boomic goes aggressive. That's a big peek and no flash behind it, but he finds so much damage. Still no kill going down. No man wants to be the first to die, but someone has to.
This is a wild beginning to a game. My word, Boomic just sprays into the crowd down on banana. And Astralis, like, you know, yeah, they've kept it 5-on-5, but they are the walking wounded right now. They get out in towards top mid. Navi start this early rotation. Simple. The man to try and hold down the fort, and he gets brought down at just 1 point of health. Finished off by Xyp9x, and all the kills right now coming up in favor of Astralis. Now, for Navi, this is pretty devastating. This 2-on-4 doesn't feel impossible when you look at the HP on Astralis, but Navi slowing the retake. Flamey coming up through alt mid, and with Dupree lying in wait over here in the apartments. He is the man dedicated to locking down this flank. So this should make it very tricky, but it's down to the 2-on-2. And now Device, who was lit up earlier on, has to try and hold his ground up in the graveyard. He gets toppled. Xyp9x now 1v2 down in the pit, but we know this man knows a thing or two about clutching, and he gets him off the bomb. Astralis take themselves the pistol round, and it's 3 kills from Xyp9x to get them there.
Well, maybe we picked the wrong clutcher for this series, Trace. Already things coming to fruition for Astralis. But yeah, a nice call. They spot the heavy B setup from Navi. Navi delayed on the rotation. They see the bomb and B, and I think that holds them on for so long. But Astralis had players in ult, setting up moto smokes and getting deep within apartments to commit to that A site. Navi were caught in rotation with only 1 man inside of A. And now it's going to be Astralis finding the first. Big force buy for Navi up against the MAC-10s of Astralis with only a solo rifle. Not wanting to, of course, give away guns to what could be a successful CT4. Simple's got to run back. He's being chased, hounded down by the UMP. Grenade is excellent for Navi. We talk about Astralis' utility damage, but already in the first 2 rounds, we're seeing excellent utility from Navi. Will that continue? You can only hope.
Oh, Boomic's CZ in the last round was able to do a hell of a lot. Can it deliver here from up atop the half wall? It will certainly deal with the first man. Device drop Boomic. Oh, just trying to get away. And he will get back into the site. The flashes go over, but Magisk isn't able to get the kill. Boomic keeps Navi a man up, and he's able to retreat. Gives this another go and gets some damage off onto Magisk, but not quite the kill. Bomb plant now found for Astralis, and with this bomb down, Navi gonna have a hard time getting back into the swing of things. Perfecto gets domed almost immediately, and Navi gonna have to fall on out from this B site. Hold on to these weapons. Astralis taking a second on the board now. I'm curious, right? You guys both picking Navi into this series. I want it because we didn't really get a chance to talk through the predictions. I want to hear, what's got you believing so heavily in the Navi squad?
And after you, Hugo.
Yeah, stalling it out. I mean, the simple show, Harry. You know, I feel like at the end of the day, it's hard to make a real prediction on this series, right? It could go either way. It is online. There's so many variables. There's so many things that we don't know. Of course, a different map pool to that of Katowice. Astralis, I guarantee they've been grinding the practice servers ever since that performance back in Poland. It is really hard to make a fair prediction. It just comes down to emotion, I think, more than anything, Harry. Why? You justify your Astralis pick. Why are you leaning in the Dane side?
Just because I think, as a 5-man team, this has been the more consistent of the two, right? Like Navi, we know Simple's going to be there, but it's been the other 4 that have been a bit hit and miss thus far for the Navi side. In this round, speaking of, more hits than misses, Device takes down Simple almost immediately, and that's top mid opened for the taking. Navi shut down by Dupree, and now Electronic alone here inside of the site. He gets mopped up pretty quickly. Boomic tries to come in on a big flank, and he's been good at finding these timings, but no kills come on the back of it. So this will be the 3rd round on the board for Astralis. They're going to move 3-0 up, and they keep it flawless as well.
Relatively easy round for the side of the Danes. And here we have Flamey.
If he can stay alive with that armor, he can buy himself head armor in the next round. But then, we're looking at a third on the board for Astralis. So either way, welcome everybody just tuning in. Perhaps you're here for the first time. Tell us that. Would love to know if this is your first time. If you're a first-time caller here at the Pro League, we want to hear about it.
Hashtag ESL Pro League. It's over on the right side of your screen. It's all you need to get in contact with the show.
It's true.
Astralis, they are starting things off very well. 3-0 on the T side of Inferno. Quick beginning, and Navi coming back in with guns.
Yeah, this is where, I think it's pretty important for Navi to make a bit of a statement early on, right? Get this first round on the board. Don't let yourself get put in that position where, you kind of have to go down that horrible route of partial investments, which then you usually lose, and then you buy again, and then if you lose that, you're partially investing again, and then you just rinse, repeat that. It's very important that Navi don't allow Astralis to maintain this much control early on. So 3-0 lead, that's expected on the back of the pistol, right? As good as those force buys are in the second round, they're not a guaranteed win, and that's really how it should be. But
Simple on the big chug in the first rifle round of this series.
Yeah, you'd love to see it.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, what's he going to do with it? dupreeh. See, usually, you say you're using the AWP like a shotgun, but now he's using the shotgun like an AWP here over towards short side. It's a bit of a twist on a classic maneuver from Simple. Doesn't look like he's going to get given an opportunity to use that just yet. Boosting up over here on B. Boomich put up above CT. And his teammate Flamey going to float around over towards CT side. This rotation back down through mid to join up with the bomb here. Astralis looking like they're going to fake this B site while they send the rest of the boys out to A.
Yeah, Perfecto's just cleared mid. That might be misinformation here for Navi if he decides to rotate. He will smoke off at the 40-second mark. That's going to buy good time for Navi. Astralis might even have to double back towards B if they aren't given an opportunity here in middle soon. Perfecto's going to begin a rotation. That's a bad timing. Astralis run through the smoke. Simple misses a shot, and dupreeh's got an opening kill. Astralis are all over the A site, but Electronic in the pit firing off on all cylinders, burns in the Molotov. Perfecto able to hold his own on A as well, dropping the bomb with just 20 seconds left in Device. He began his long route back from B. He's got to do even more now in the 1-on-3.
Yeah, 10 bullets. Flamey wins that every day of the week. So Navi going to get their first CT side round on the board nice and early. They deal with that attempted bonus of Astralis round well. And they've poised themselves now to get off to a good start in this half. With only 2 players surviving, we're going to need to see these rifle players drop weapons over. Flamey even dropping an MP9. Have fun with that, whoever gets burdened with it. But
Merry Christmas.
yeah, opt in for the full belt utility. Now, important to remember, that was only the bonus round from Astralis, so they're able to invest here into this one. And this buy from Navi, not the most stellar of investments. Boomich relegated down to an SMG and Electronic on the FAMAS. Perfecto, one of the players who did hold forward a decent weapon from the last round, gets dropped almost immediately. My goodness, this A bomb site has just been torn apart. Electronic's gone, and it's a save for Navi. And perhaps most upsettingly, this is going to be one of the two worst invested players trying to hold on to an MP9. You can see Boomich is just going to have to sit here in the library. Maybe he goes further forward. If he's able to get a gun, yeah, that's perfect. He can run with that now. That's an AK out of the round. He's going to take that all day long. That is so much better than what Navi were about to head out of it with. So Astralis, 4-1, fast A play. Not really anything spectacular there outside of the shots from dupreeh. Just the sheer pace of it kind of blindsiding Navi. Even the lack of utility, not telegraphing that push was coming in. It was just dupreeh taking dry fights over in top mid.
Yeah, he just ran out top mid, finds the first 2 kills with ease, and then that's pretty much it. It's the house of cards that falls. It's the domino effect. I believe Perfecto was the last one alive inside the site, and he didn't stand a chance.
Yeah, the problem with that is when dupreeh's done that and there's been no utility, no anything, you've only seen dupreeh get 2 kills at A. Well, if you're Astralis, if you're Navi, you can't actually really justify rotating yet, because as far as you know, he might just be doing a sick job on a lurk. So the 2 players just hold position at B for a moment, leaves Electronic alone in the A bomb site, and then the rest of Astralis just come in and mop the rest of the round up.
Yeah, that's always a worry, right? You don't know when the T's are going to elevate off the back of picks or, just stop and hold position and wait for you to make make a mistake. That is commonly a move, right? You get 2-man advantages. Sometimes you don't want to commit. Sometimes you want to, figure out if there's a stack, find an opening if you wait for Navi to push down Banana potentially. But on a map like Inferno, you get 2 kills, you often commit. Those choke points are very tight indeed. And Utility can bleed your time before you know it. Device, he's up the top of B. There's a boost, but Boomich isn't going to see the man below unless he climbs above. Doesn't look down, and Device is going to take him down. Astralis, an advantage in this one. One of the 2 safe guns has been removed, and Flamey's got to do it all with not much. We might see a rotate back. Simple's going to go try and grab that weapon from Boomich, but I wonder if it's even retrievable right now with Astralis taking significant Banana control, moving up as a unit with the bomb. 5 players here, looking like a BXX. Navi have stacked appropriately. 3 players here. Simple's thrown on that CT boost, but even so, how much can you expect? A smoke for Flamey might stall this push, but Astralis have shown themselves to be keen to go through this utility in the past. It won't be here, though. Just spamming it. They've only made noise from 1 player up here right now, so Navi don't know the whereabouts of this entire team. And they're going to peer back towards mid while that smoke is down. Check there's no one on the flank, but there's no flanking for Navi, just going for this full gamble stack, and I love it. Unfortunately, it's not going to work out. Astralis, they're selling this B fake like a genius, and they're going to go right back into the MTA site.
Yeah, and as the kills go in the way of Magisk, it's only prompted these rotations to hold position more, and now for Navi, I mean, they can try and run in with the pistols. It's like, it just really depends on what you want to do. Like, obviously, Electronic isn't going to throw the M4 away, and I imagine they just hunker down, right, and wait for Astralis to come to them. And if Astralis do come hunting and you're able to take a gun away, take it with you into the next round, that's great for Navi. They'll take that because that's really the only thing going their way right now. This is a 5-1 lead for Astralis. They've come into this matchup firing on all cylinders. And they shut down at these saving players. They are hunting them to the very end. Electronic wanted to get away with this M4, and he's not able to do even that. 5-1 for Astralis, and they are relentless there in pursuing those kills.
Yeah, and this is the scary part about Astralis, right? This is a team that we know can find momentum and really steamroll the opposition pretty much in any matchup they find themselves, with the exception of a little bit of a bleak period there at the beginning of the year. Now, this is looking more like the Astralis that we know of. Of course, on their map pick with a T-sided start, they're also able to dictate the pace and where they want to fight. Seems like they can cause quite the ruckus over today. And even go to B and take your weapons from you.
Yeah, sometimes it takes you getting knocked down to get back up, right? And I remember that tweet that Glaive put at the end of last year about the blast groups that came out, and he was saying, obviously joking, but, easy group for us, haha. And then they go 0-2 in the group and they get knocked out by Navi. And I feel like, and then obviously following up on Katowice, stuff like that only makes you want to improve and want to get better. And I'm sure Astralis have been putting in the work. It's certainly showing in the server today, 2-for-1 on the A-site trades as they get out the apartments and come up the short lane. Magisk clearing the site. There's no one here left to fight. Navi are back into the Inferno tradition. It's a safe city. Astralis get 6.
I would not venture far, be shocked to see some sort of timeout coming in for Navi. Or at least, regrouping, because right now this is not going to be the answer in this half. They're getting pushed around.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, right? I always think, man, with Katowice going in favor of Navi in the way that it did, I know, man. I always think like Astralis just see this as a challenge, and they're looking to get back on top. And we've seen when teams have fallen off kind of the horse before, it can get hard to get back on top of the scene and start to dominate again, right? Think about teams like MIBR or VP of old, right? These were all legendary teams that went through these fluctuations. And I think that's maybe why the timing on this 6th-man roster edition for Astralis is pretty perfect. It's like, how do you keep your players motivated? How do you keep them playing the best CS possible? So there is like, and not that they seem like the bunch to ever get complacent anyway, right? But just to emphasize that even more, just to kind of give yourself that many more options. They've brought in this 6th man, not only to keep the pressure on the existing 5, but to give them alternatives. And this really is a team that's looking to stay ahead of the curve and not fall down those same trappings that teams of old that have had their eras necessarily did.
I mean, warnings in the past were given to Zipex before, Astralis went on an absolute tear of a couple of years of his performance. And, words were said about, turning it around before roster changes were to be made. And that's kind of crazy to think about now that we sit here and we know what Xyp9x has accomplished in these last couple of years. He has been a rock for Astralis and is continuing to be so in this series as well. 7-2, second on the board in the server. Simple 1-6, a slow start.
Yeah, the last time these teams played, it was in London, like you said, Hugo. It was Astralis starting on the CT side. Only netted 6 rounds for that Navi on their T side, and now, as you can tell, it's not quite the case.
Different day, different game, and different score as Astralis sit permanently in the lead right now. Navi have had to take a force in this one, saving some money for a rainy day. But light investment with guns and some utility behind it. Again, Astralis putting pressure at the top of B. The spats with his smoke almost get a kill. Flamey very lucky to get out alive. Just missing the angle to see Boomich on the boost, and oh, Glaive's found a gap. You don't want to give him an opportunity in a smoke. He's bad enough anyway, but he's going to sneak through. Only damage done. Boomich going to get the kill. The trade on Flamey and the follow-up for Magist. Dink down, but not enough for Navi to consider the retake once again. It's going to be Astralis. You know, if you trade effectively and efficiently into either site on this map, more often than not, it just forces saves, especially when you have low economy like this for Navi.
This is rough right now. Like, and I don't even think this is like this. I don't think this is Navi like not being able to compete. It's just Astralis winning the first 2 fights or the first 3 fights. You know, depending on if they go B or A. And they just win the round instantly on the back of it. Like, you can't do anything if you're Navi here. If you're not able to trade that first kill and keep things even, then you are in for a world of hurt. And it's not even like they can respond with some like hyper aggressive play, you know, like down through Banana or into the apartments or try to go for the ult mid peak. Because Astralis have been watching this. They've been holding in the beginning of these rounds and then picking up the pace kind of on a whim. Now, Navi gonna have another investment here. It will have the AWPs behind it, but to kind of round things out, Simple's just been either shut down immediately or just avoided for the most part, it's felt like.
That's the thing. When we've seen him try and take picks and take initiative with a Deagle and fighting mid, like looking down all, and Astralis have just headshot him every time. They're looking very good individually, looking crisp on the server.
It's a scary look at Astralis right now.
Right. And Simple, I mean, maybe the AWP is a change. Maybe that's what he needed to get on the board. Well, let's see if that's the case.
Well, his only kill in this game was with an AWP up to this point. It was inside the A site, albeit in the midst of some pandemonium and chaos where he was really not going to get out of the situation he was in. He grabs one just before he falls. So he was left alone there in the A site with AWP. Did do something with it, but not nearly enough. And perhaps this would be a good round for Navi to turn this boat around.
Yeah, got to start somewhere, right? Sooner better than later for Navi. But yeah, this is just, I feel like so often Inferno turns into this game on the T side. And Astralis are doing it so well. Simple, waiting for his timing, waiting for his opportunity to strike, and he will, taking down Dupree in the middle.
And so this is where for Navi, you're hoping that the first round they get on the board is the first of many. And this is normally the case here when you get into this spot on the CT side. Simple might just be the man to make all the difference. He is trapped though. He is stuck here. And Glaive will get that trade at the very, very least. Navi though, for the first time in a long while, they've got this man advantage. They sit in a 4-on-3.
And now what this means is no matter what site Astralis hit, even if they trade effectively, even if they get all the kills in B, you're going to see a retake. You're going to see an attempt by Navi. They can afford to do it. They can afford to have some skin in the game in this round. And that's going to happen. Device is hitting B fast, but Boomich is on a boost. They've seen nothing, no one, nowhere. Boomich drops one. Xyp9x going through the Molotov and burning to 20. He's got to stick this plant. Astralis would love the money. They've got plenty, but who's going to turn down more?
Well, they'd love the money. It's Navi that would love the round. This would be their second if they don't flub this retake. 2-on-4. Xyp9x very low. He's going to do the dance inside of the site. Flamey just playing the corner there, looking towards new box. So far, so good. Here comes the grenades, and ultimately the hit there to follow. Xyp9x hitting an amazing shot on the Flamey, and well, that's just going to be about it for the Astralis camp after getting the bomb down. Can't successfully defend it, and that does mean a second round here for Navi.
Boomich stalling out the defuse, playing with the time. A little scary, but he has a kit, so no worry.
So hopefully this is where things turn around for Navi, because they make some money out of that round. They've digged themselves out of this hot, like, think about how many rounds we've just seen these pistol armors for Navi thus far, right? It feels like we've had more of them than we have rifle rounds for Navi.
Yeah, and this is that game we were talking about earlier with these two teams in London. 16-14 is a pretty damn close score, but you got to imagine that these teams went back and reviewed that footage, considering just their stature currently within the rankings globally.
I mean, that's the thing, right? I think when you look at the coaches of both of these teams, both of them are like two examples of some of the best coaches in Counter-Strike, right? Like, you got Blade on one side of Navi, and then you've got Zonic for Astralis, and you know that they're going to have gone away. And that's the thing, like, for Astralis, I think the next nearest team to their level of what they've been able to keep up consistently has always been Navi, right? So these are two teams that are very well versed with how each other play. Astralis, if there's one man that they're going to be focusing on, it's someone like Simple. You know, how do you nullify someone like him? Well, the Danes, they've clearly had a bit of an answer to that thus far. He's really struggling, but we see him get 2 kills in that round there, and that's what it takes to shape up in favor of Navi. Now this time, 3-man stack over here towards the A site. They boost up Perfecto on top of the balcony. Astralis, are they going to be ready for this? Simple takes down one. Dupree, first man in, but Simple beats him on the trigger. Perfecto tries to extend further forward and does bite off a little more than he can chew.
But this AWP out, already finding success, is putting a little bit of a tailspin here on Astralis. Make him a little bit weary about going into the A site, and as you can tell, it's going to be Boomich on a fast flank right here, getting all the information, dropping the bomb, and just leaving Device up to 5 HP. 1 mouse click eliminates Boomich in this round.
B is open right now. Device might know that as well, because Flamey has gone on that rotate through CT. He managed to kill his teammate in spawn, but Device, he would rather stay here, give it a go out the apartments. A close choke point being covered by the man on the site. It is Electronic should have the drop, and there it is. Free AWP as well for Navi if they want to double up on the CT side, but the AKs are treating them well enough. No Kriegs here for Navi, and again, this has been a talking point throughout the Pro League. Astralis have been one of the teams, one of the very few teams to completely avoid buying the Krieg on the T side until the end of the half. That, of course, prohibits your opponent from picking those guns up, and we know how much better they are on the CT side for holding angles, laying down, huge spray downs on multiplayers, pushing positions. And so Astralis don't want to give those weapons to Navi.
For Astralis, it seems like it's been very hard and fast, right? Like, not until round 15, and that is literally the only time we've really ever seen them bring the Kriegs out. For a team like Mouse Sports, another team that's been doing that, we've seen it's more been like near the end of the half, like kind of like round 12, round 13.
Got control.
Yeah, if they're feeling in control of the game or they feel like they need to step up in those closing few rounds, that's when we see it brought in. But Astralis, it has been pretty strict to the rule. Another A play now. Simple, once again, comes in with an AWP kill. He is so annoying, and there's a gap in this smoke for him to work with. That is a disaster for Astralis. Magisk does come in with the kill onto Simple, though. And that's now the AWP off the angle. Electronic trying to hold himself in this smoke down in the pit, but he gets dropped, and this round has been swept under the rug. It all falls onto Flamey now to try and clean up the remaining 3, but he's brought it down to just these 2. The bomb is up on the balcony. That is a disaster for Astralis. Flaves had to go all the way round up into the apartments to grab it, but that kind of works in his favor. Flamey never expected a man to be apps. The last time they saw Glaive, he was at short side, wrapping towards long.
That's the second time that Glaive has picked up an M4 over an AK at the end of the round. Very purposeful, was running for that one. So unless he thought it was an AWP with the Asimov skin, I'm quite surprised. I guess, it's sometimes nice to feel out the M4s on the T side, but ultimately not a better gun, and I think everyone would agree with that. 8-3 regardless. Astralis are bringing the heat on this T side. 2 missed Moto smokes in that round. One of them, well, I guess they both get punished with a kill from Flamey and Simple through those gaps, but
also the shot from Magisk onto Simple as just, that's the round changer, because we saw the setup that Simple had. He had it pretty much made for anyone coming up porch side with AWP, but sometimes it really do be like that. Sometimes you just get erased, deleted, outshot. That's the way she goes.
Oh, Astralis, they're just going to commit to a B play here. Magisk has found a massive entry, and there you go. Inferno again, it's done. The round's over. Navi have nothing to do, nothing to say but save, and Astralis have a 9th round. Simple as that, Trace.
Yeah, this is getting a little bit problematic, right? Because Astralis is just running these immediate executes sometimes in the beginning of these rounds. And when they do get the kills in that fashion, they just win. And this is where, you know, you want a man like Simple, who admittedly over at this A site has really picked things up. Like he was, what, 1 and 6 on the board. Now he's 6 and 8. So he's had, you know, a very good time over towards this A site. But this is where Astralis are now making him have to reconsider this position, right? Not uncommon to see you try and win this B site fight by peeking Banana early with that AWP. And I bet that's going to be a Navi now have in their mind. But Astralis are going to be very, very aware of this pressure that they've put on Simple to try and perform. He's been the man finding the openers for Navi in these rounds.
Yeah, when you're in this position, it's kind of like being down a man on the CT side. You can often get bogged down into that hole of, oh, say you lose that first fight, you're 4 on 5. Well, what do? You want to send an aggressive player to try and trade things out and get a pick. And while that sometimes does work out in equaling up into a 4 on 4, it can take you even deeper into the hole. It can trap you in your own doing. So, yeah, Navi, they've got to be careful with how they decide to deal with this aggressive Astralis right now on the T side.
Simple had the mid spawn. This might be the round where he gives it a go. And yeah, he's going to hold for the cross, and there's the first kill found. Simple besting device. So there he is, taking matters into his own hands and showing some good initiative by getting that man advantage. Now he immediately rotates to keep his position. A kind of uncertainty for Astralis. He was just in top mid, and now he's here at Banana looking for another kill. Astralis, will they be ready for this?
No, he's there again. Flamey with a flashbang even to set him up, and there's another man on the sandbags if needed. It's not. Astralis have run right back. They want nothing to do with this. Simple. He's going to rotate again, man. He's everywhere. He's on a train track just swapping between sites right now. Astralis are walking once again into the man, the myth, the legend as they come out of the apartments. 3 Ts here, and so many defensive players. Perfecto's dropped the bomb. Simple gets one from the sidelines, and he'll even finish off with 4. Navi getting their 4th round on the board. And it's a Simple show, ladies and gentlemen. We were waiting for it, but it's finally here. Is it here too late, though? This is still a great T-side for Astralis. They're going to be happy no matter how this ends up.
I mean, there's a world where this just gets swept up here these last 2 rounds, right? But it's really going to take some gumption here from the side of Navi to really turn it around. These last 2 rounds could mean everything when you look towards that second half.
Dupree and Simple battling for opening duels, 4 and 2 on both of those players. Dupree getting a lot of picks off this AK. Simple, well, we've seen what he can do. Device is trying to hold on to middle. He spots that AWP run back. But Simple won't re-peek, he won't reface. He'll just smoke the top of middle instead. Keep Astralis honest for the time being. Astralis playing around this AWP. Going to be setting Device up for picks in this one. Taking their sweet time while they do it. Apartments has been conceded. Navi have not shown much presence in that position so far this map. Simple holding very standard angle. Of course, needs Electronic to hold his own in the pit. Otherwise, a swing off the balcony could end Simple's life. And we know Astralis are good at dealing with that pit position. Heavy flashes over middle, Molotovs. Electronic has had to smoke himself in the past. And even when you smoke yourself, it's typically just a timer. All you're doing is stalling out rotations. You're going to get killed more often than not. So Simple, he wants to force fights. He wants to get aggressive towards middle. Device isn't looking there, and Simple gets a shot. There should be a trade, but they have nades out in their hands, and Simple doubles it. It is a slaughter for Navi. Blink and you miss it. 5 kills, no deaths, and Astralis get absolutely thrown out of the water.
Oh, now we got a game on our hands. This is the Navi that can do damage. We started to see them come alive here towards the end of the half, taking 4 of the last 6 rounds. And if they manage to get themselves this 6-9 half, I think that's more than recoverable here, looking to the second. Simple with this fantastic display. I mean, and all the kills coming for Navi. That's what makes that so lovely to look at. And now their money's set to the end of the half. They are so happy. I mean, it is the last round of the half. They're all good. Simple looking down mid with this AWP. Going to go ahead and Molotov off the ult mid peak. And he's probably pretty happy he did that. There were 3 players there about to go round for Astralis. Boomich peeking down Banana. Does have Flamey waiting back at the coffins to try and flash him back in if needed. And that might be more than needed now. Boomich fooling early on to Magisk. It's another opener found for Astralis over at this B bomb site.
And it's another opener for Magisk. This guy keeps tearing a hole in the defense of Navi. And that's got to be getting old for the side of Natus Vincere.
Oh, they're gambling as well in the last round of the half. They think Astralis are going to come back to A, and they still might, of course. This is slowed down for Astralis, and that's actually to the benefit of Navi. Astralis are holding for someone to get aggressive, like we talked about, but Navi aren't falling for this one. Of course, if this ends in a B-side execute, this is a round done, and this is the half likely going in favor of Astralis, but Flamey with a crucial kill. Getting one in B is going to send Astralis right back to A. Will also allow Simple to rotate, but that's a wrong rotate right now for Navi. It leaves Electronic in the pit and Perfecto as well to hold the line, and Astralis might double back again into the AWP they go as they sell this A fake. Simple, again, being played by Astralis.
Back and forth he goes. Flamey. Now we did identify him as a player to watch. Now would certainly be the time to do it. Can he, though? Finds one, looks at the second, finds it with ease as well. Zipex is there to take him out with a MAC-10. And we're going to see Zipex and Glaive go to town here on this B bomb site with a plant. 2v2, Perfecto and Electronic. Not gone well so far, just Electronic. Trying to retake from CT spawn. Walking in slowly, patiently. Checks the right obstruction, but he's not going to be quick enough. It's going to be Astralis. They put a 10th one on the board to the 5 of Navi.
How much respect do Astralis want to give Navi in this half? Are they going to be forcing fights? Are they going to be playing passive and letting Navi direct the pace? We'll have to see. Glaive is looking for banana control with this USP. Favored in the long-range fights, but there's a Ray boss in place. Simple. But give it a P250 alongside his armor. Looking to try and fight back. We know how good this gun is at versing the USPs on pistol rounds. Really playing with fire. No one getting away with a kill, though. Simple doesn't need flashes. He's just running up dry. There's one. It will force Glaive back for the time being. Astralis still keen to hold on to the top of Banana, and Zipex has got a nade to try and blow back Navi in this round. Glaive is waiting for the spot before that gets thrown. And there it is. Grenade should be going in now, and that might do significant damage. There it is. Electronic is gone from the round. He had utility. He was the man supposed to be setting up this play, but it's not going to happen. It's got to be on Simple's back as he looks to get entries into this B site.
Yeah, desperately trying to deal with Zinix back in CT spawn. Zinix has done a great job of dodging danger. Eventually, though, it comes to him.
Ooh.
Somehow he wins both of those fights. And Zivnix has made this round more than doable for Astralis. It is a masterclass. Flamey now, 1v4, has to try and do it all from back here at Banana. Wow. And Device just swings wide, taps him out of the server. Pistol round goes the way of Astralis. They're going to go 11-5 up. And a chance to build upon that even more now. With that pistol round going their way. I'm really curious if we're going to see the force buy from Navi.
Yeah, double Kriegs, you know, we know he can get them in the second round, throw them over to the playmakers and, you know, Deagles on the rest. It's actually a really, really good buy you can get. Of course, you know, that's the question with Kriegs. We saw none in the first half from Astralis. Astralis looking like 2019 is back in action right now. None of that 2020 performance. They're really warming up, and Simple's been given a Krieg. It's what we wanted. Boomich alongside him as well. Doesn't have armor, so we're going to throw that to Electronic. The two playmakers for Navi. Men to watch out for. Simple. Second in the server with frags right now. The kill count for Astralis isn't impeccable, and that's because a lot of the time they were, you know, getting 2 kills in B, and Navi was saving, right? As Inferno often is. Devices, Dupree, rather, is on a P90. You don't see that every day. But that's really going to tear apart these armorless players, even the rifles if it can get close. Dupree smoking alongside, giving Navi middle control if they want it. Electronic is still trying to hold on to B on his own. Navi have got mid. Dupree get flashing off that smoke. Simple's actually gone down, trying to take a fight towards the pit with a Krieg. The gun will be given over to Boomich instead. Zipix getting tagged on B. Navi might bail and run back towards his B site. It's seemingly more successful for them right now. And the P90 on the other side is not going to miss a beat. Dupree with 3, shuts it down, gets a Krieg upgrade as well. And you don't want to put them in the hands of Astralis, because look what they'll do to you. 12 rounds on the CT side.
Oh dear. Dupree hasn't had his hands on one of these in quite some time, at least in T-halves, and actually he's quick to drop that over. P90 out for Dupree.
Respect.
That's the thing, man. If any team can make something like this work, you feel like it's Astralis. Astralis or maybe like Fnatic. They're the two teams that I could ever see.
It's honestly a good gun, I think. Astralis?
Yeah,
there we go.
Yeah,
I was going to say, you know, like there's no point not playing the Krieg on the CT side. Like the T's can buy it, you know. If they want it, they're going to get it. So you may as well bring your own to play. Zipex has done
Oh,
that.
no.
Device, the timing is everything, and he might have just caught it. They walked right past him. 2 kills. Spots a third as well. The bomb dropped at his feet, and he's just going to give it up for now, taking a big advantage. And Navi already this round crippled. It's not like they had a lot to play with anyway. Boomich is going to give it a go through the Molotov, and throwing the bomb in the hands of Astralis now has left them in quite the predicament.
Yeah, this is surely smelling like a 13th round for the Danes. Can't account for just getting peeked from window room every time. Of course, no one really looking up there. Now, what we can look at is Simple with the 1D going to Zipex, albeit just a little bitty Band-Aid on top of what is a very, very extensive wound here on this half, or excuse me, this round and this half, rather. Hell, even the whole game. What am I saying?
Words are just things, Trace.
Words are like numbers.
How so?
There's a lot of them.
Yeah, there's a lot of them, okay?
I mean, there's only 10 numbers, really. And then every other number is just a combination of
That's
further
kind of
numbers.
true, but there's only, 26 letters, and every word is just, at least in the English language. Is that how many there are? I don't know. But here's Glaive. He knows a lot of things, including how to shut down and win this round. 13-5 now for Astralis. Investment back on the cards for the Navi side. But if there isn't an immediate turnaround, this could be quite the statement made by the Danes. Obviously, we talked about Kato after falling 16-5 there in both maps. They would love to do that damage to Navi here.
Yeah, kind of returning the favor, if you will.
Yeah, this is brutal, right? Both those games at Kato were 16-5s. And yeah, I mean, in the exact same vein right now, Navi needs something on this T side. It's their first rifle round. It was a force in the second that's put them down 0-3 in this half. And now they've got to do even more if they want to get back into this map. It is this pick of Astralis, of course. Dust 2 is coming up next. We saw Simple drop 54 kills against Big in Pro League just a couple of weeks ago. Still lost that map, though, in overtime. Despicable scenes. Not something Navi want to repeat, but right now they don't have much of a choice. Going up towards Banana, we got this bait and switch set up. We're seeing Zipnix with a smoke. He can pop that in, but Glaive is already taking fights and he's going to get one. Trade is in. That's important for Navi. That smoke might deter them from taking this control, so Boomich falls back and gives that position away to Zipex. Navi going to go towards mid instead.
You're already going to notice some huge differences in how the B hole was approached by these two teams, right? The immediate resmoke from Zipnix has kept them out from top B and denies this kind of instant double kill forced to save that Astralis are reaping the reward of all first half long. And now for Navi, it's left them with very few options. Boomich is holding passively down at the bottom of B, but this doesn't leave the opportunity for a late B play on the cards, really. He doesn't have any information as to what's going on at the top side of Banana, and this has forced Navi to have to commit to this A play. That's where 3 players sit for Astralis right now. Dupree going to find some chance damage in through the smoke. Device, don't know how that doesn't hit. That looked dead on.
He did 10 damage.
Wow, Perfecto is, or Simple rather, is wearing some very heavy body armor. There's the second time being a charm for Device. He's getting pressured from seemingly all sides, and Simple does get it down to the 1v1. Fakes the bomb plant, but Zipnix is already on the angle, and Astralis take a 14th. They send Navi packing. Very little money now for Navi moving into this round. An investment likely to come through, but it could well be their last here on Inferno if they don't put a stop to the Dane machine that is Astralis.
Oh, Simple, man. Going for the Glock fight in the one-on-one. He had time for the plant, but he realized Zipex was so close to coming in on long, and if he sticks it, he likely just gets pushed the second he gets off the bomb plant. So has to try and force a fight, and Astralis instead take 14. Dear, oh dear, quite the performance from the Danes. Can they keep it up? Can they shut down Navi without a single T-side round? They're trying to fast B play. They're going to get mowed down. The Molotov finds one. Boomich getting caught in the air. Glaive finds him in the bomb as well. It is absolute pandemonium right now as Astralis sitting at 4-on-2. The bomb, irretrievable for Simple. He's going to have to hit some headshots.
And Astralis just won't let him. They fall back into the site. Simple, even re-smoking top Banana. He's so paranoid about players being pushed on up. And Astralis have just conceded this ground.
That smoke is to feign the fact that he's walking through and trying to pick up the bomb in the smoke. He's hoping Astralis spam or give away their position or give him an opportunity as he plays passive, but Astralis is doing anything but. They've fallen back into B, and this is such a good call. Not controlling the bomb, not even interested. They know that their 2-2 split has been holding the line more often than not, and Flamey does get a kill on A. He could try and wrap CT and come towards B. That's an option, but Simple, he's going to have to wait in order for that to happen. Dupree's going to rotation through CT spawn. Simple going to hang on while he waits for Flamey to take position.
Magisk has cleared out the apartments and is going to realize that this top mid position is clear. Are they ready for Flamey? Dupree certainly is, and this leaves Simple in the hot seat. You've got to get past Glaive if you want Domain on the B site. And Simple, is he up for the challenge? Doesn't know that a man is here. Has cleared out CT, so he's slowly but surely whittling.
Ooh,
he saw him. He knows now. Simple has an inkling. Glaive trying to play it round the box.
No.
And oh dear, Glaive's just wasting time. Glaive's dealing with this perfectly and Simple. There was no time left, even with getting that kill. 5 seconds on the clock, but with no CT smoke, Dupree already holding down the angle. Astralis take themselves a 15th round. Glaive plays that round to perfection. Look at this. Look at this time wasted, man. Simple would be so frustrated. This is horrible. And then it just allows Dupree that free trade. So 15-5, map point for Astralis on their map pick. And they might be about to give Navi a bit of a taste of their own medicine here.
That's a banana CT spawn smoke up the top of B. It's a Galilathon for Navi. That's when you know things aren't going well. And Dupree is looking to force fights in the apartments. We've not seen much control in this position all game long. And he'll get some damage off from retreat with a Molotov. Nothing better than free damage with no traded control for Navi. They do take apartments. Banana has been conceded once again. Electronic going to start to move up there with Boomich as well, but like I said, Astralis just so good at delaying this beacon draw, throwing in this re-smoke at the top of Banana, a Molotov behind it, denies position to the car, and we might see a boost up for Navi here, but you can see how ready Astralis are for anything of the sort. Being very loud and proud up to the top of B, even finding free damage as well through the smoke. They'll give it up and hold off. One smoke left up on this B site on Zipnix. Navi, they might just hit A instead. Look at the setup for Astralis. 3 short side players.
Astralis are playing so passively back on that B site, though. These rotations are going to take a very long while to come through in full effect. Magisk decides to play over towards long side and actually take the fight to Navi. Now 3 players try and come his way and he's cut them all down. Magisk has made this round his own. Navi had everyone here, even gets the dink onto Electronic, and Navi, my word, it was a 5-on-3 at the A side of the map, and they've only discovered where one of these players were, and it's all fallen onto Flamey and Electronic to try and do the impossible, to try and make something of this round with 6 seconds left. There's no time. The bomb is dropped, and Astralis take this first map. They go 1-0 up. They 16-5 Navi. It's revenge for Katowice.